these are some basic media concepts which you need to know. These are very important. You need to know the definition, but you need to understand them because they are the basis for media planning and what we do with media in the advertising biz. So, how would you define an impression in terms of advertising? Think. Maybe write something down. Sorry. Here's what an impression is. Think about one person being gently tapped on the head. That's an actual impression, right? It leaves that little thing that you tapped with, leaves a little impression on the person's head. So every time one person sees an advertisement one time, that is one impression. What is reach? What is reach? Okay, reach is a percentage. What percent of the target audience saw your ad at least one time? It's a percentage. 80%, 70%. What percent of your audience saw the ad at least once? It's reach. It's a percentage, always. What is frequency? Well, that is how many times did each person see or hear or get exposed to your ad. That is frequency. There's typically an average frequency for a group of people or for that a media plan is accomplished with a group of people. Some people may have only gotten one impression. Some people may have been exposed to the ad in a newspaper, in the morning with cereal, on the subway station on the way to work, in a bus ad, in a bus shelter, on the way to work, on your computer, you're sitting at your desk. Same ad, adapted for the different media, but basically the same ad, the same Tabasco. And now you're getting frequency. You're seeing something more than once. That's frequency. GRPs, this stands for gross rating points. And how you get gross rating points is you multiply reach times frequency. So if your media plan gave you an 80 reach over 4 weeks with a 3 frequency, your GRPs for that time period, sorry, it's morning. Okay, GRPs are 80 times 3 or 240. So GRPs is a way to kind of cum together the overall effectiveness of your media plan. Reach and average frequency over a time period tells the GRPs your plan is delivered over the time period. TRPs are just like GRPs, except instead of gross rating points, they're target rating points. So what's your reach against your target, not against all adults, but against your specific target, times your average frequency equals TRPs. Circulation is a way to measure print. It measures how many people read a newspaper or read a magazine. Ratings is a way to measure broadcast, TV and radio specifically. It's the same as circulation, but it's for broadcast. HH stands for households. How many households are there in the U.S.? As opposed to how many individual people, how many households, how many people per household, We talk about reaching households very often. Monthly uniques is a way to measure websites. How many unique visitors visited such and such a site every month. CPM, cost per thousand. It's cost per thousand impressions. And here it's spelled out. Okay. Now, talking further about media. We have different media types, right? We have out-of-home, radio, TV, newspapers, T-shirts. There are several ways to evaluate media types. One is cost. In other words, how much does it cost to reach for 1,000 impressions? What's your cost per 1,000 impressions? That's your CPM. Another way to measure, which is more judgmental, but it's important to understand it, is the quality of the impression. What do I mean by that? So I get hit on the head once, but if it's a 5-second radio ad versus a 3-minute infomercial on TV, they both count as one impression, but one of them is a lot more persuasive than the other, okay? And that's quality of impression. How does the quality of impression vary from media type to media type? And measurability is the third way to evaluate. And with internet, you can really measure pretty accurately, or at least tell yourself you can. So a little bit more on quality of impression. So sight, sound, and motion is one key issue with quality of impression. So radio obviously has no sight and no motion, only sound. So its impression is different from television. Depth of sale, how much time can you spend with the ad? So we saw with the second Tide ad we watched, but we went to the website and there were 6 banners, and there were also ways to click and get more information, pricing, and different things. That's depth of sale, okay? When you're riding the subway and the whole side of a subway car is covered with the same advertiser, that's depth of sale. I spend more time with that than I would with a single, subway sheet on the subway. Measurability is, can I get a firm grasp on how many people are actually seeing this? And is it having an impact on my business? That's ideally what I want to know. Internet advertising is very, very measurable, although it has some drawbacks, as we'll find out in a later class. And avoidability is the last one. So, in fact, the key thing that out-of-home is going for is that it's unavoidable, as opposed to internet, for instance. So where I can, get around any pop-up or whatever. But out-of-home, if I go out and I'm walking by it, I can't miss it. So avoidability, whether I am avoidable or I'm not avoidable, is another differentiator among different types of media. Okay, so and here we are with those again. Okay. What am I doing? I'm cleverly going backwards. Okay, sorry about that. That's a first. Okay, so once again, what type of media has a high quality impression and what doesn't? I'm going to stop here again because we're going to look at a couple of ads.